Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love. American made.
Listen up, Autothoughts and Decepticlowns. You are listening to Prime Cuts, a nonlinear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Nero.
I'm your other host, Audrey.
And I can't believe we're almost done with Energon. They're about the final battle with Unicron is starting. And that's it, right?
Oh.
That's the end of it?
We can only dream.
You kill Unicron and then that's it, right? There's not like 17 more episodes after this one somehow.
It's fine. We love to have fun.
At least some things happened in these episodes, as opposed to last week where one episode had a goofy race and the other one barely
nothing
exists.
Happened. Yeah, nothing happened. This is another week where I don't have a ton of notes actually. Though things did happen. I just didn't care about them.
Yeah.
But this is another week where one of the episodes, the second episode, made me really mad about the lack of 2D animation in the show.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, this looks so cool. I wish the context was even remotely interesting for it.
Yo, you mean after Megatron nutted so hard he got possessed by the devil?
Well, that, but also the fight with Shockblast on the planet. There are so many with Omega Supreme and Optimus. There are so many really cool shots done in 2D in that fight of them doing these anime-esque stare down final battle kind of things that are super cool. And I'm like, damn, this looks great. I was like, why does this look so good? And then I was like, oh, because it's 2D. Got it.
Whenever something has to look cool or stylish, they just animate it in 2D, which, once again, it begs the question, why does it look like that? All right. Well, let's get this party started with, we watched 3 episodes of Energon today. Episodes 35 to 37 of Energon and 36 to 38 of Superlink. Thank you, Scorponok episode, for just fucking everything up.
Yeah, and it's worse for, you have to understand, it's worse for me watching Energon because I'm watching it on Tubi, which is where it is available for free, and they do it by seasons. So, I don't even have, a close reference to follow. So, I was like, oh shit, did I watch the wrong episodes this week? But no, I didn't. They're just the wrong number.
Yeah. So, our first episode here is A Heroic Battle, or in Superlink, Heroic Alpha Q's Battle. Now that Unicron is up and about, Megatron dedicates himself to his next mission, getting head. After Kicker and Omega Supreme have an incredibly unhelpful... Do you like that one?
No, I don't. I hate it.
That's what this episode is about. It's about Megatron trying to get head. That is just what it's about. Why is that phrasing so distressing?
Because it's grammatically incorrect. It should be getting ahead.
That's true. Anyway, after Kicker and Omega Supreme...
That's the only reason.
After Kicker and Omega Supreme have an incredibly unhelpful conversation, the fight is on. The Autobots put up the Energon grid to try and stop him, but everyone, including Alpha Q, knows that it's just a matter of time until Unicron busts through. The Autobots do a bunch of fighting on Unicron, looking for a way to get inside his body. Just when Ironhide finds it, however, the Autobots retreat due to the impending Energon grid collision. Of course, Unicron eventually breaks through. Alpha Q begins preparing his final act while Optimus flies back down to try and find that ingress into Unicron. He instead ends up burning to death. Well, almost to death. Alpha Q tells Kicker to go to his newest planet as Unicron approaches the sun, telling Kicker that doing so will save Alpha Q's life. However, he was just putting Kicker out of harm's way as he begins to unleash all of the sun's stored up Energon in order to scorch Unicron as he grabs it. The planet he brought Kicker to is based on his childhood memories of where he met Misha. It basically looks like the default Windows XP wallpaper. Alpha Q then blows up Omega Supreme rescues Prime, and Megatron is ecstatic about finally getting ahead. However, Unicron is moving rather slowly due to the beating he took, and so Optimus takes this time to restate his commitment to destroying Unicron. Doing so unlocks his next power-up, and he links with Omega Supreme to take on the Chaos Bringer. Kicker, meanwhile, refuses to believe that Alpha Q is truly dead.
He seems pretty dead.
He exploded, Kicker. The sun exploded, and then he put his head back on.
I mean, listen, you know that he's not going to be because Kicker's off on a journey to find him, but, like, seems pretty dead.
Yeah. He does also turn out to be dead, though. Is the thing.
Does he really?
Wait, is that changed in Energon?
Oh, wait, you're right. No.
He's
Sorry,
dead
I thought
as
you
fuck.
meant... So I was under the assumption that, like, that was, like, a just for now thing, and that wasn't how the series ended. That's what I was more referring to.
They buried him.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, everyone dies in this show, and they're all fine.
No, see, this Energon...
Except for Padlock.
Yeah, except for Padlock, and also Alpha Q, and also a third character whose very funny death we will be talking about shortly.
Okay, I meant of like the good guys.
Yeah, no, Alpha Q.
When the bad guys die, for the most part, they stay dead unless they're Megatron.
Yeah, or Demolisher.
That's true, or Snowcat.
Yeah, this time around, the Decepticons get the
That's
bring
true.
back
No,
treatment.
you're right. No, spoiler: it's Shockblast who's very dead.
Wait until you hear.
Shockblast dies about as badly as anyone has died in
so
this show.
Fucking funny the way he dies.
Oh, good riddance, my man. But Jesus Christ!
Wait until you hear the Japanese title for that episode. It's so fucking funny.
Oh God, I was looking at the titles as well too earlier because I wanted to make sure I was watching the right episodes. Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
notice.
Alpha Q. So basically, this whole episode is about trying to reconnect the head to Unicron's body, and he does it. He gets head.
Yeah, I mean he like Kool-Aid Man's his way through the barrier.
Yeah. Unlike the other episodes, the only funny thing I remember. Because there's really funny shit that happens in the other episodes. This one, the only really funny thing is Optimus flying back down to Unicron after he's like been superheated from busting through the Energon grid and just instantly catching on fire.
I mean, I think it's pretty funny the like sequence of like power linking that happens.
God,
we're just everyone in a row power linking.
Yeah, we got a real.
It's like pair to spares, like pair to spares in fiction with terms of romance, but it's that with power linking instead.
Yeah, we got a real lengthy.
Just a lot, just like one after another. They're like Wheeljack does it with Skyfire.
No, that can't be true.
No,
They're different sizes. I think it's Wheeljack and Inferno. I refuse to call him Roadblock because nobody else calls him Roadblock.
That's who it is. Yeah, So they do it first, and then everyone else is like, "Hell yeah, brother, let's do it!" It's like Prowl and Hotshot, I think.
Yeah, I remember that one because once again, any power link where Prowl forms the lower half is just
so
deeply
bad.
upsetting.
It's a fucking loincloth. Though, again, coming after, right on the heels of Wheeljack power linking, it burns a little less because Wheeljack power linking with everyone just looks so atrocious.
The stripes, they just don't blend.
It doesn't matter if he's top or bottom. It's just so bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I just really love the part where like everyone's like, we can't go back down to Unicron, it's too hot, and Optimus like, don't worry, I'll do it, and he goes back down there and
burns to death,
and instantly starts burning and just falls over.
Optimus does not do well in these episodes.
Oh, he's having quite a time.
Optimus does not do well from like a physical or like character standpoint. Mm-hmm. He is really a huge dick in these episodes. Yeah. I guess it's a little more understandable because he is like going through hell physically.
I love his reaction to Ironhide saying, "We'll go with you, sir," in the third episode. It's so fucking funny.
That is particularly what I'm talking about. He's like, "No, fuck you! I gave you an order, fucking
Energon Optimus is such an asshole for
They're like-
reason.
And then everyone, I do love not to skip ahead too much, but like Optimus is like, I'm gonna go alone, and Ironhide's like, no, we're all going with you, and Optimus is like, what are you, dense? I told you no.
Shut the fuck up.
Like I gave you an order, I expect you to follow the order. And then like everyone else is like, everyone knows that the hero's code like outweighs direct orders. I'm like, does it? Is that how that works? I don't think it is. I think like he's being an asshole about it, but I think Optimus might in fact be right here.
The scene where everyone comes out to join them, he just instead of being like, you guys, he just punches them all in sequence.
Literally, he's like, I mean, he doesn't do that, but instead of being like, oh, well, he does actually, it is very funny that at the end of all that, he's like, oh, how can I say no to you guys?
After he fucking knocked Ironhide's fucking socks off. That's so funny.
Oh man.
One last thing for this episode, we have to talk about the new Optimus form.
I have a couple other notes actually before if you want to save that for wrapping up.
It's the it's the last one.
Yeah.
So what are your other notes?
I don't like the way Omega Supreme comes apart.
It's upsetting.
Not a fan of that.
No,
So
it's
Omega
bad.
Supreme is two guys stuck together. Very clearly.
But it's not even
two
two
cats.
guys. It's
two
like,
cats.
It's like two
It's
halves.
two Zords.
It's
two Zords.
It's two Zords, but they don't become robots on their own. They just turn into a train and boat. And then a third little guy, a headmaster, links them together. Because otherwise, he's got like a weird little hockey puck head.
Yeah, no, it's two of like the 5 Zords that made up the original Megazord. It's like the SUV and like the whatever. It sucks. Like he avoids laser fire by separating into 2 separate vehicles, and I hate looking at it. Then the other thing is when he and Optimus power link, because remember everyone's power linking at this point. It's a power link like free for all. Optimus is Optimus is like, I'm gonna go into the fire, and Omega's like, okay, cool. The time has come. My spark calls to yours.
Yeah.
And it's like, my spark recognizes yours, and all I could think is real recognizes real.
Yeah, so at the very this happens after the fire incident. Actually,
Oh, you're right.
He has to bring him back. They have to call Skybblast to pump Optimus full of energon because he almost died.
Yeah, they literally like have to do like a blood transfusion basically.
Because he fucking went like, I'll go in there.
But then he's fine. It's like they're like looking at his like corpse, like blacked out eyes.
Yeah.
Like not grayed out yet, but like basically his floating corpse, and Ironhide's like, is he gonna be okay? And then there's like a moment, and like Skyblast is like, yeah. And then his like eyes come online, and he's like, welcome back, sir. And he's fine.
And that's when Omega Supreme says, damn, your dedication to killing Unicron, I feel myself drawn to you. And they share combination sparks, and they finally combine. And the way, okay, so we've seen a few ways that this Optimus combines with other characters, right? We've seen him wear gloves and shoes for his like drone team, jacket and pants for Wing Saber. He wears Omega Supreme like a skin suit.
Yeah, I mean, a big one. I mean, he wears it. He wears it like the like walker that Ripley uses in Aliens.
The first step of the power link animation is that he turns basically into truck mode, except his head is poking out of the top, and then that just kind of slots right into Omega Supreme, and it's just Optimus's head poking out of the top of Omega Supreme. It's I'll say it looks better than, I think it looks better than his first super mode, I guess. Because it's like the least amount of Optimus per square foot.
I mean, it's like, it's pretty, I mean, all things being equal, it's pretty okay in the grander scheme of things here.
Because it doesn't have the color clash problem the other Optimus modes do. Because his body just ain't there, it's just his head. But that brings us to the second episode here, my personal favorite, episode 36/37, The Power of Unicron, or in Superlink, Laser Waves End.
Yeah, well, it sure is, isn't it?
Superlink title, Shockwave fucking dies.
Hey, listen. Again, Jinochi dies.
As Unicron continues to heal, the Autobots launch an assault. Optimus Supreme and Rodimus are already inside the Chaos Bringer, hunting for Megatron. Kicker, meanwhile, insists that he goes to Unicron's head to look for Alpha Q. Ironhide and RC go with him. Unicron is getting more and more uppity with Megatron. The Decepticons are outnumbered, holding off the Autobots, except for Shockblast, who is busy wandering the halls and scheming. He fakes Megatron out, then steals his big devil chair, thus stealing control of Unicron. He becomes possessed almost instantly, goes berserk, becomes huge, and blasts Optimus Supreme all the way through Unicron and onto Blizzard Planet. All hell breaks loose as Megatron unsuccessfully attempts to wrangle Unicron, finally getting the business end of a tentacle lashing. Omega Supreme tells Optimus he needs to use his burning heart of justice to take on Unicron, and Optimus gives a big heroic speech while getting his shit kicked in by a rampaging Shockblast. Hotshot tells Misha that Unicron's healing is almost finished and that the corridors in his body will soon be sealed away. She tries calling Kicker, but he's refusing to answer. Optimus finally frees Shockblast from Unicron's control by appealing to his sense of personal pride as a soldier, only for Megatron/Unicron to personally punch him with his giant fist, killing him. The sensation of murdering someone with Unicron's hands causes Megatron to nut so hard he loses all control, finally falling under the sway of Unicron. Kicker, meanwhile, finally breaks through to Alpha Q. He's dead. Kicker tearfully demands that they bring him to his beloved planets to be put to rest, saying that as long as his dream lives on, so does Alpha Q. Rodimus swoops in to save everybody right as Unicron starts going apeshit, fully healed and ready to rumble. You ever get punched by God?
By the devil.
Yeah, punched by the devil. Have you seen Kung Fu Hustle?
I haven't.
Damn it, I was going to make a joke about the end of Kung Fu Hustle. There's a part where
I've seen some clips.
Have you seen the clip from the end with the big Buddha hand?
No.
Well, that happened to Shockblast. He got punched, except it wasn't a big Buddha, it was a big devil.
This happened to my friend Bob.
Okay. There's a lot going on in this episode. These episodes are weird with it in a lot of interesting ways. Can we talk about Shockblast becoming large for no reason?
We can talk about whatever we want, bud.
Why does he become big?
It's our podcast.
Why does he become big? He gets possessed, starts going apeshit, and just becomes large. When I say large, I mean he's like roughly Optimus Supreme size. So he's like kind of big.
Yeah, he got dipped in blue dye. He's bigger than before.
Yeah. I think Optimus getting blasted out of Unicron's ass the hard way is really funny. Like, just blasted through the whole thing.
Yeah. Again, Optimus does not fare well in these episodes.
I don't know if it's the same Energon, but it's so funny that while he's like having this kind of heroic monologue of like, I have to stand up, I have to fight for what I believe in, I have to prove that my will is stronger than Unicron's. While he's saying that to himself, he is literally like, Shockblast has him pinned to the ground and is literally just smacking him in the face.
Yeah. No, there is one point where like Optimus Supreme kind of like rallies, which is like on this ice planet or whatever before Shockblast dies badly, where, hey, they shoot icicles at him?
Yeah, he has...
Since when is this a thing that they can do?
I guess, like, the main thing we see Omega Supreme do, like, his main power appears to be telekinesis. Because he puts people in bubbles.
Weather stuff, too. Like, he can do electricity.
Yeah, I don't know. Usually Omega Supreme's power is that his arm is a really big laser. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
here.
usually his power is he's Omega Supreme.
Usually his power is that he's big.
Yeah. No
But
shit.
in this one, he's kind of big. Like Omega Supreme's large, but he's not like crazy big.
No, he's like G1 Jetfire big.
Yeah, like remember, animated Omega Supreme was so big he was their fucking ship. This guy, meanwhile, is just like he's like an NBA player big compared to like a normal sized person. Anyway,
Isn't there like aren't there versions of like Omega Supreme where he's a Metroformer?
there's some where he is approaching that size.
Yeah.
Like it really famously he shrunk in the wash a lot after his early appearances in G1, where he used to be really big, and then by like the middle of the Marvel comic or the show, he's just kind of tall. He's just kind of like the size of Omega Supreme. There's a lot of tentacle whipping in this episode.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
a
again,
lot of it.
some of it looks really cool, right?
Yes.
Like, because some of this, like, again, this is like a very cool anime ass fight, and like a lot of it is animated in 2D, and it like looks very cool and impressive actually. And it makes me deeply sad.
Yeah. I just love Megatron trying to like gain control of Unicron, and Unicron whipping the shit out of him with his tentacles, and Megatron's going, "Stop! Stop it! Ow! What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, it's really funny of like Megatron being like, Unicron, why are you listening to me? We had a thing going.
Bro, you
Like,
made a deal with the devil.
Megatron gets taken over by Unicron in such a like pathetic, whiny way.
It's
not like there's like this big. It's not like it was an Armada, right? Where there's
No.
like this big like fight of wills between them. It's like Megatron. It's like boiling a frog. It's like Megatron doesn't even realize what's going on until he's totally taken over, and it's like, all right.
He got lost in the sauce. Can we talk about the really, really funny death now? I want to talk about it so bad.
Please.
So Shockblast and Optimus are fighting on Blizzard Planet. Like I said, Optimus like somehow appeals to Shockblast's better nature. He has one of those, I suppose, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say in the dub at least, it's not necessarily his better nature, but his truer nature.
Yeah, it's the same
like-
in Superlink, where it's like
like-
you're a soldier, you're a fucking
Yeah, he's like, you're a warrior, like you're a really strong fighter. It's like you don't have to be like Unicron's puppet. And Shockblast is like, check this shit out, explodes.
Yeah, but he's like, wait, you're right, I don't have to, and then boom.
Yeah.
A mountain-sized fist just slams all the way down, punches Shockblast.
Cratering him.
Like, he gets punched into the core of this fucking planet. He just gets obliterated. It's so fucking... Like, Unicron's arm is just shoved halfway into Blizzard Planet's crust, like 2 inches away from Optimus's face. It should have had a train noise.
Yeah, really.
And like I said,
it's kind of like something out of like Monty Python.
it is like the
like
Bigfoot.
one of the Terry Gilliam like animations.
Yeah, it's like the Bigfoot. It's just the way it comes down is insane. It's so funny. And like I said, that is so I don't know how he says it in Energon. In Superlink, Megatron is literally raving about how good it felt to snuff out a spark with his bare hands, with like Unicron's hands. He's like, it feels so fucking good. And that's when he goes full demon possession.
I can't remember like the actual words he was saying, but yeah, no, it's a very like Unicron's like, all right, well, Shockblast is dead, so time to possess someone else. Look at this loser right here. And like that's the thing, it's that like this is really pathetic of Megatron. Like this is, I would say, the most pathetic we've maybe ever seen any Megatron.
You should be used to killing people with your bare hands by now, man. You're Megatron.
And like again, this whole thing of just like boiling a frog, of like
Yeah.
Unicron just like taking him over without him even realizing. I'm like, this is sad.
Like, he's getting bossed around by in the next episode. He's like, "Can you please not eat my men?" And he's like, "No, hungry."
No, and then he's just like, well, we can't have that. Like, I'm not going to allow anyone to eat my men. And Unicron's like, my men now.
Yeah, do something about it. And he can't. He doesn't. But yeah, Shockblast. Okay, in the previous Unicron trilogy entry, obviously Thrust gets the Dying Badly award. He died very badly. I don't think there is anybody in this show who's gonna top Shockblast getting punched by the devil so hard he explodes.
The Monty Python, like, comedy effect of Big Fist come down.
And like you like the 2D animation cut you get of him being like squished and flat, like exploding.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's like, yeah, I mean, same thing. I think it was also Terry Gilliam who did some of the stuff for Yellow Submarine. But, like, the big blue meanies from Yellow Submarine as well.
Yeah,
like,
the
like,
glove.
Yeah, the glove. Exactly.
Glove.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's can we talk about
I know our listener base is about a decade younger than I am on average. So if you haven't watched Yellow Submarine, it's a good time. Go look it up.
If you like to enhance the experience, take some substances of any sort of your choosing. That can only enhance things. But yeah, I like
hallucinogenics. Actually, probably wouldn't be a great idea.
You know,
it is fantastic. It is fantastic on weed and drunk.
Yeah, absolutely. I should rewatch that movie soon.
It's a great movie.
Good time.
It's a beautiful movie, and like, listen, the Beatles aren't my favorite band, but they made pretty solid music. You know.
Talk about Alpha Q's dead body, dead as fuck. He's dead.
Yeah, that dude, homeboy is dead.
And RC and Ironhide are like, you know, they're basically humoring Kicker, but at the end, Kicker's like, "No, I knew he was dead, but we just have to keep his dream alive. We just have to protect his planets."
They do really badly at this too.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how well that goes next episode.
Spoiler alert: really bad, really, really bad.
Not gonna go great for many of these planets. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the Alpha Q stuff in Superlink is pretty decently done. Like his goodbye in the previous episode and Kicker's reaction to his death in this one, and I'm sure in Energon in the next episode they put some fucking stupid voiceover over his funeral scene, but in Superlink it's totally silent. That's one thing Energon loves to do. Whenever there's any moment of silence, they're like, "Ah, shit, put a character yapping about something in here."
Usually it's Ironhide.
Yeah, of course it is. Speaking of the next episode, unless you had, do you have any other notes about the power of Unicron / Laserwave gets got? He died so bad. It's so fucking funny. Like, after all that time playing Toady to try and usurp Galvatron, it immediately goes bad. And he just dies.
To think that it was a combination of Shockwave from every other continuity being like, "Kill this guy, I can't have him besmirching my reputation."
Fucking looking through the Universal Nexus and going, what the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, what's the most fucked up way I can kill this dude so he will never be associated with me again?
Finally, we have the last episode of Recovery this week. Optimus Supreme / Struggle to the Death Omega Convoy.
Kicker, I mean, sure is, huh?
pretty damn close. Kicker, Misha.
Another L for Optimus. It's 3 straight episodes in a row of Optimus almost dying.
He keeps trying to 1v1 Unicron. It's not how it works.
Literally in this one, at least, it's like everyone else telling him, the Optimus, no. Literally Kicker goes, "Optimus, you'll be torn apart."
Like, you didn't even really beat Unicron the first time around, man.
Yeah, that's why he's still here. That's why we're still dealing with this.
Yeah. So, Kicker, Misha, and Ironhide bury Alpha Q in the rain as the Autobots prepare to take on Unicron, who is getting ready to chow down on Blizzard Planet. Ironhide stays behind to confront a conflicted Scorponok. At first, it seems as though he might finally come back to himself, but he reaffirms that Megatron is his master and attacks Ironhide. Despite Optimus's best efforts and Omega Supreme's repeated insistence that size doesn't matter, the Autobots are unable to stop Unicron from devouring Blizzard Planet, and a large number of them are severely wounded in the process. The Decepticons, meanwhile...
Unclear how, by the way.
Unicron shoots a big suck laser, I guess?
Yeah, I know, but, like, they were all... Anyway, whatever, continue.
A bunch of... All of the guys who aren't going to get new toys got wounded. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
The Decepticons, meanwhile, are having a hell of a time trying not to die. Megatron has been possessed by Unicron, which makes him look like he's covered in mold for some reason. He tries to tell Unicron not to eat his men.
It's psoriasis.
Which the Chaos Bringer
Just
soundly ignores. Unicron is a skin disease.
Yeah, he has a little psoriasis. Leave him alone. I have psoriasis.
The Miranda 2 picks up the wounded Autobots and pursues Unicron, who is now headed towards Circuit Planet. On Cybertron, Primus tells Rad and Dr. Jones that he's going to give all of his remaining energy to the Autobots in order to beat Unicron, dying in the process. Optimus walks to the CR chamber on the Miranda 2, brutally looking, brutally as in like he's brooding like Batman, looking at all of his injured men.
Broodingly.
He states that he and Omega Supreme alone will challenge Unicron, not wanting anyone else to get hurt. When Ironhide objects, he smacks the shit out of him. Optimus challenges Unicron, and it goes about as well as you'd expect. Thankfully, the remaining members of Team Prime arrive to back him up, and all of them launch a huge attack on Unicron, which he easily endures.
Which it does nothing!
Unicron then nearly kills everybody, blowing up Circuit Planet in the process. So that's 2 planets down. How you doing, Kicker? How's that promise to protect Alpha Q's dream going?
The second one, like, really sucks because, like, Kicker and Dr. Jones, like, have this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, beforehand, where Dr. Jones is like, so Optimus told me to, like, send him literally all the energy and, like, that I have. And Kicker's
yes!
like...
Oh my god, even more Primus erasure. It's so funny.
Yeah,
because...
and Kicker's like, that's going to leave this planet completely defenseless. Like, there will be no chance. And Dr. Jones is like, yeah, well, Optimus asked me, so, like, I have to do, like, everything I can that he asked me to do to, like, help him. And then, sure enough, guess what happens? Which planet is this one?
This is the race planet. This is the Circuit Planet. Right. They had their funny race there.
Planet.
There's even a line where Ironhide tells Hotshot, like, man, we have some great memories here. I hope we get to race on this planet after we defeat Unicron.
Oh my god.
Well, too bad, fellas. It's it got blown up. Thankfully, Primus is here, or excuse me, Optimus, enraged, tries in vain to fight Unicron, but gets his ass beat. Thankfully, Primus is here to give everybody sweet new colors so that they can sell more toys.
I didn't realize you weren't done with the summer yet. Sorry.
And makes Optimus Supreme absolutely fuck huge. Time for the final battle. Okay.
Which will definitely be the final battle.
Yeah, it's almost the end of the show. What else is there left?
Which is great because, like, I only have 1 week left before I go on vacation for a week. So it's great that we'll be able to wrap this up before I leave.
So, there's a lot going on in this one. We've already discussed the extremely funny moment of Ironhide saying, "Sir, I volunteer to go along with you," and then Optimus just punching him in the face.
I fucking hate you, Ironhide.
Shut the fuck up. Let me go out there and fight Unicron on my own. I have a death wish, goddammit.
Oh my god.
There's a really good moment, actually, with the Decepticons. So throughout this entire episode... Demolisher, Snowcat, and Mirage are like running away from Unicron tendrils that are trying to eat them.
Yes.
And there's a really funny bit where they finally get out, and Mirage like kind of stumbles out and falls over, and then he immediately gets grabbed and like starts to get dragged through, and Snowcat and Demolisher grab him, and he's like, "Oh my god! Even among the Destrons, there is friendship." And the other two look at each other and goes, "Wait, hang on. We're Decepticons. we don't. There's no power of friendship over here, and they just let him go. Thankfully, but actually, Mirage's real shooter. This episode turned me into a Mirage Starscream shipper because Starscream fucking saves his ass.
I mean, Starscream, Starscream is the only one who isn't, like, completely losing it at this point.
Yeah, like...
Kind of on both sides, honestly. Like, he gets there and he's like, looks at all of them and he's like, where is Megatron? And they're like, he's still inside. And he's like, okay, so you abandon him? And they're like, homie, like, look at what is happening here. And Starscream's like, fair enough, actually.
Yeah, you know what? This shit's fucked. All right. So it's so funny that you telling me like the edited video call of Dr. Jez going, yeah, Optimus asked us to send him the energy. I don't know what it is about Energon completely erasing Primus from the narrative. It's so fucking weird. Because
there's no god, only the devil.
Let me tell you, in the next show in the trilogy, they did not do that. That is a very Primus forward show. But this one, they just have to like keep pretending that it's not. But yeah, in this one, Primus literally says he's gonna kill himself so that they could kill Unicron. He's like, I'm gonna send all the rest of my energy to Optimus, and Rad's like, but you'll die. And Primus says, that's right. But it's worth it.
That's pretty good. Hey, all I can think, again, I just think about that, like, Kong Skull Island clip with the guy with the grenade.
Yep. So, let's talk about, so, the ending of this episode is insane. Can we talk, do you have any other notes?
I actually didn't have, like, any notes for this episode, even though I was like, I don't even know what to say here at this point.
So, okay, like I said, Optimus gets his shit rocked by Unicron, right? Like, he's kind of floating through space.
Yeah, he rocks him like a hurricane.
And then the Primus energy comes in, and everybody gets their new colors. But this is when I say this is a very lengthy sequence. It's like 1.5 minutes long. As everybody's getting reformatted, for the entire time, the whole time, Optimus is very loudly grunting and groaning.
Oh my god.
Was that the case in Energon, or is that just in Superlink? I think I remember the case being in Energon. I distinctly remember Gary Chalk noises happening for a very long time in this episode.
Oh, they may have been. I guess I just didn't, like, notice them as much.
Like, because, like, everybody's glowing and stuff, and you just hear, like, ugh, ugh, ah, like, the whole, like, there's this beautiful, like, this heavenly music track, this triumphant track.
This is such good radio. This is we're making such good noises. Such like good radio.
And everyone's like, oh my god, I can feel it, I can feel Primus. And then the Optimus is going,
I feel the cosmos.
It's insane. It's for like 1.5 minutes. He's just grunting, screaming, and then the fucking icing on this shit cake is the shot of his gigantic claw arm coming out of an orb and just grabbing Unicron's head. You know what I thought of when that shot happened?
What?
You know the tweet of who destroyed my onions?
You!
That's what it looked like to me. Just like grabbing Unicron like he was a naughty cat with his big hand.
I do like doing that to Fig.
There's like, and just like, he's so big and he looks like shit because of like the texturing they have on him. He's all shiny now, like Unicron is. One thing, speaking of Unicron though, I do like a lot of the effects Unicron has for when he's like sucking stuff up with his big like chest cavity. That stuff actually looks pretty cool. Everything else
because it's in fucking 2D.
Well, the effects are. It's still the regular 3D Unicron model underneath that, but they do a lot of cool like effects, animation, and like lighting to make it look better.
Yeah.
It's the problem with the show is really like, even the models would kind of look bad regardless. But I think one of the other problems is that they just don't interact with lighting at all. Like
They don't. Yeah. It's like very uncanny valley. Like that is the thing that I'm realizing is that by having like all of the human characters be 2D, particularly, like the way that the 3D models interact with the rest of the world is just like extremely uncanny valley, because it really feels like putting like a sim into a pixel game.
For sure, yeah, just like they don't look like they mesh with the world at all.
Yeah, like the way they interact, it's like, and it's like made worse because of the fact, as Nero just said, that like all of the effects, which for the most part actually look really good, like smoke effects. Well, they use explosion.gif a lot, but like fire, like smoke, fog, all these like lighting and like visual effects that happen like look pretty good, but like they just do not come in contact with these 3D models in any way that looks even vaguely realistic or like normal. I mean, forget realistic, right? Like this is a cartoon, fine, but like normal, it's all very uncanny valley.
Yeah.
Hi, Fig.
I'd like to close out by talking about all of these sweet new colors you can go to the store and buy these toys in.
And why haven't you yet?
So, just like at the end of Armada, all the toys get refreshed with new colors with their powered up forms.
Because we're at the end. Yeah.
So, all of them look fucking hideous. Like, almost universally. Hotshot, for some fucking reason, they made all of Hotshot. So remember in Armada, he got like the hot rod colors, like the G1 hot rod colors, and he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
He kind of has that in this, except only on his internal stuff. For some reason, they made his car parts all this like silver, which in the show comes out as gray. So he's just like gray and orange. Just looks extremely unappealing. Ironhide is Geen now. He's Geen, which I guess puts him more in line with his Japanese name of Roadbuster. But he also doesn't really look a lot. Yeah, because he's actually mostly brown, but he's like brown and green.
Okay. I don't know Roadbuster from a hole in the wall, so.
He was from another toy company, so they didn't put him in anything in the G1 era.
Was he a Takara?
He was like one of the weird ones, like from another toy company. I forget which one it was, but it was like he was like from a completely separate, like not Takara owned company that they imported later, just like the Jetfire thing, where because they imported him from the Macross line, they couldn't have him look like that in the show or comic. Jetfire has become blue. He's blue now. So is actually a lot of them became blue. Landmine and Cliffjumper also became blue. But here's where more of that fucking shit comes in, where Hasbro was like, all right, we're going to make all of these guys new characters. And Takara was like, actually, fuck you. They're the same guy. Over here in the States, Jetfire's powered up form, Landmine's powered up form, and Beachcomber's powered up, or Cliffjumper's powered up form were all sold as separate characters. Overcast, Landquake, and Beachcomber, respectively.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't they? This is a toy commercial. What are you expecting from them? It's not even a good toy commercial.
They're really bad. It's like obviously Transformers is a toy commercial. The thing about Energon that I find so fascinating is that it's a bad toy commercial. Like, you want to go buy the powered up Jetfire. It's like, wait a minute, who's Overcast? Why is the bio talking about how he's like Jetfire's emo brother? What's happening? What's good? Because that is how his bio is. He's like Jetfire's like emo brother. But yeah, they're not, just they have new colors now. Don't worry, we're not done with new colors, by the way. There's still more to come later somehow. We're set up next time to defeat Unicron. Are you ready to defeat Unicron and end the show?
Yeah, totally. Yes, I'm very ready to do that. Do I think I will be able to? No.
Literally, I think, let's see, one of these fucking episodes. The next episode is called Unicron Perishes.
Great.
There are, let's see, 12 episodes after it.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
I don't understand how this fucking happened. I don't understand. We have questions, both about just sort of life in general and also on Discord.
We might not do all of them. Like
not on Twitter.
But yes. Great. Our first question of the evening tonight comes from
Trying to choose carefully, are you?
well, again, like I would like to do stick to questions that actually have to do with the episode. We'll start with Slipstream Sam. Would any of the Decepticons just sit and watch that old screensaver of various colored pipes?
Demolisher and Snowcat.
Yeah, easily. Particularly Snowcat.
That's Cocomelon to them.
Yeah. And Sam also asked if you could save the life of any one character who's died so far this show, being reformatted counts in my opinion, but had to sacrifice someone else in their place, who would you pick?
Not Shockblast, because he died too funny. Okay, here's the
Demolisher.
I would say, so here's the thing actually. I wouldn't save them. I would make sure they stayed dead for that. Yeah, because I would agree, yeah, Demolisher.
Well, here's the thing. I would save Demolisher in the idea that I would want Demolisher to not go back to the Decepticons.
Right, like to have his
But,
storyline continued, like have his character, like have conflict. Yeah, it's true.
And I'll kill Snowcat off. I want to kill Snowcat off no matter what.
Yeah, what if Cyclonus just died?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be fine?
I'm so tired of this yodeling.
It'd be so beautiful. It would be such a beautiful world if Cyclonus just fucking died.
And if we got hit by the Decepticon bus. Sure Knock Chat asks, I will ask this one and answer it very quickly. Have you considered a possibility that the reason we send in so many questions for Energon is because we, the audience of the show, must double our efforts to make our own fun in order to make Energon more bearable? Yes, I have considered that. However, we are two people. Please have mercy.
Superlink? Are you guys watching Superlink? I told you all last time. You gotta watch the damn dub. You gotta suffer. You gotta go through the shit. Superlink is like a competent television show.
This is bold words from you right now, by the way.
Okay, look, I'm not gonna say Superlink is good. It's not good. It's not good.
I'm saying you're the one who's watching the better version. I
Yes.
should be the one. I'm the martyr here. I'm up on this cross. I'm the one. I'm the one who's being resurrected in 3 days, okay?
I'll tell you who isn't. Shockblast.
I'm the Jew.
Okay, then you tell him to watch the damn dub.
Understand that we are two people, and I in particular am watching this dub, and I just like it is
so many. There's so many questions.
It is so many questions, you guys, and we do this like Nero is an hour before, like I'm an hour ahead of them, and like it is so late. Like when we do this recording, I basically go to bed like right after it anyway. I have a 9-to-5 job. I have a salary job, okay? And it's just like it's a lot. It's a lot.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Wingsailers, I'm sorry, for Nero Device, what's your favorite Wingsailor line? He doesn't have any.
Yeah,
he doesn't,
exactly.
I don't think he said anything in this whole entire 3 episodes.
I believe that is Veer's point. Why didn't Optimus just order Omega Supreme to do anything besides just standing around? Is he stupid? Yes! Yes, he is!
There is a lot of Omega Supreme just, like, standing around.
But that being said, Veer, like, yes, he is stupid. Like, he literally dies 3 episodes in a row.
He goes down. Everyone's like, watch out, Optimus, don't touch Unicron. He's still really hot. And Optimus says, don't worry about it. And he touches Unicron and he burns. And he goes, ow, it's really hot.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Why didn't someone tell me?
Still pretty hot. What are your thoughts on Megazord Prime 2? See, okay, they're picking up what I'm putting down. Great.
He does like but this version of Mega Supreme definitely does have like a Power Rangers vibe to him. He's got that kind of weird chunky design.
And it's not necessarily good, but it is better. It's better.
Better than fucking Wing Saber.
Oh, Sabrina, I see you typing questions right now. I swear
Stop!
to God.
Step away.
Speaking. Sorry. One last one from Veer. How do you take the Headless Horseman to the next level? Well, this is an interesting question for me because I grew up in the county where Washington Irving lived, and like his old manor was like one of like the big field trip places. Sunnyside Manor was one of the big field trip places, so I feel very personal connection to the Headless Horseman and Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
What if the Headless Horseman?
You give him, instead of the classic jack-o'-lantern, you give him one of those like award-winning like detailed portraits that people like carve into them. You give him like the Mona Lisa jack like head.
What if the Headless Horseman got head? Have you ever considered that?
He'd come and then he'd go. Sidewinder Sabrina asks, is Omega Supreme a duobot in this show?
Yes. God, I love the duobots.
Actually,
he is.
Yeah.
He totally
literally.
Is. Without the modulation, because you could put either one on top, I think, for the duobots, like either vehicle mode.
I mean, they're side to side.
Yeah, it's a weird. Omega Supreme.
They're parallel parking.
The parallel parking to combine. But I have a good answer for her first one here, actually, which is if one characters are allowed to curse on the show, who should it be? My answer is different between the languages. In Superlink, it's Shockblast. In Energon, it's Kicker.
Incorrect. It's Sally. With all the innuendos, are the Autobots just as horny for Unicron as the Decepticons? No one is horny for this thing, though.
There's a lot. Well, I think in the dub, Optimus is talking a lot about pounding Unicron, and Omega Supreme's like, size doesn't matter. Optimus.
Pounded in the butt by the planet-sized devil.
That's a Shockblast.
The new Tingler coming soon.
Shockblast just couldn't put in the fucking Tingler.
I know the dub says that Optimus was in sleep mode, but do you count that as another death? I know I certainly do. It does take him getting Energon to come back. I mean, his eyes are off. His eyes are fully off.
He burned to death from being an idiot. I count that. That's he died. He died right there.
Last question from Sabrina for now is: Omega Optimus, now a headmaster? I mean, yeah, I guess. Kinda.
It's weird because Omega Supreme is already a default headmaster, but it's never it's never remarked on. It's just in his transformation sequence, you see the little guy get up, but it's like it's never brought up at all. It's really weird.
Chet asks, Ironhide says of Kicker, that kid really grows on you. Do you agree with this? Actually, yes.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? My memories of Energon, and he's not great.
No, he's not the best character, but this is a cast of really miserable people. And, like, within that, he is pretty enjoyable, actually.
Like, he's an actual character, which, like, especially in dub Energon, like, those are few and far between. At least
and he doesn't, like, abuse anyone.
Yeah, he isn't an ass. Well, okay, he is kind of an asshole, but not in the same way that Optimus is, where he's just
or his dad.
Yeah, or he doesn't dangle an 8-year-old and down a fucking lunar mine shaft and stuff. Yeah, I my memory was like, Kicker sucks. He's the worst fucking human companion, which maybe
and that may be true,
but he's definitely not the worst part of this show.
No, and very freaking like as soon as Kicker there is a point, and I'm not quite sure where it is, but there was a point where Kicker kind of it may have been when he started talking to Alpha Q, actually.
I think so.
Where Kicker really started to sort of accept whether it's fair or not that he had these abilities and that everyone wanted him to use those abilities, and sort of like accepted the responsibility for like using his abilities wisely, where it's like, okay, like suddenly he's the voice of reason here. Like, he's very frequently in these episodes now the only one who makes a lick of sense.
Yeah. I will say definitely still an annoying, like, vocal performance. Especially in Superlink, that dude is yelling 24/7.
It's, I would not call it, like, expert acting, but, like, all things being equal, it's not, like, he's certainly not the worst voice in Energon.
There's so many bad voices in Energon.
He's certainly not the worst voice in Energon.
Hey, Snowcat, how you doing?
Yeah, I mean, compared to the yodeling, it's like, it's nothing. It's like a dream to listen to, honestly.
Snowcat, Ironhide, just a whole bunch of guys who suck to listen to.
Yeah, a lot of guys who are, like, rough on the
Most
ears.
of the Alpha Q voices.
Most of the Alpha Q voices, yeah. Okay. Veer asks, how do you use space to manifest your victory over your enemies?
Power of God.
Power of God. And the devil.
And the
Power of the devil. Remember, God doesn't show up for me. Why does Energon have an obsession with killing off the characters with anything of actual interest going on with them or any other form of actual personality? You think Shockblast? Sorry, wait. Do you think Shockblast
I don't know.
something interesting going on or a form of actual personality?
I don't know if they're talking about Shockblast or Alpha Q, because Shockblast, he made a strong impression, but I think he really fell off after those initial episodes, and he hasn't really been doing anything other than muttering about betraying Megatron, and then he did and got fisted by the devil. Alpha Q, I feel. By the devil. Alpha Q, I feel like this is a pretty appropriate place for him to die.
Yes.
Like,
Sorry.
I don't think this is like Demolisher.
For a moment, I was so wrapped up in the euphoria of Shockblast dying that I existed in a world where Alpha Q didn't exist.
It's fair, because only one of them died in an extremely funny way on screen. The other one was just like kind of dead already. But like, this one is like, it's not a Demolisher situation where they just completely abort a character arc and then just pretend like it didn't happen. Like, I feel like this is like, as far as writing goes for this show, what passes for writing, it's a pretty appropriate place to kill off Alpha Q.
This is like an old school fridging, honestly. Like,
Alpha Q is the fridged girlfriend for Kicker.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I'm not joking. Like, this is like an old school fridging. They like fridged Alpha Q to give Kicker character development.
Oh my god, you're right. That's amazing.
I'm being completely serious about this. And why are they ripping off Digimon War Games at the end? Is Optimus going to turn into fucking Omegamon?
I mean, it is Omega Convoy. He's already halfway there.
Yeah, really. Cha asks, what the fuck? Shockblast is large and pointing his arm cannon at you. How do you deal with him? How do you appeal to his better nature? I just fist him.
I remind him of how funny it was when he killed Padlock. That's how I appeal to his better nature. I'm like, hey man, remember that time you killed that dude in a really funny way? If you're like with Unicron, you can't enjoy those really funny moments anymore, you know?
Sabrina asks, was this the first time we hear God speak in Energon? I'm gonna be so real with you. I don't remember him speaking.
Erased.
But I do think there is a moment earlier on where they just like couldn't figure out an excuse to get out of it, where he did talk to Primus, but I can't remember what it was.
I think there have definitely been a few lines that slip through, but most of the time they just when he does talk, they just call it the core. They don't call it Primus. They just refer to him as the core all the time.
Yeah. What kind of party do you think Kicker would throw?
What is this even about?
I'm gonna skip this one. I'm also gonna skip this next one from Veer just because it's visual.
It is a very good visual gag, though.
It's a very good visual gag, but
he was doing that. He was doing the Sailor Moon meme pose.
It is hard to communicate visuals in an audio only medium. Okay. Chet asks, when Unicron fires his big chest laser, the Autobots also begin to get sucked into it. Do you think this is how Unicron digests matter in order to be left with just the Energon to consume?
I'm gonna be real. I don't understand how Unicron works anymore in this continuity.
Yeah, I don't.
He has used the chest. I think that is how he try to consume Cybertron. He used like the big chest suck. The laser and everything else he does in this episode is insane, and I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah. Does Unicron have a skin condition or something? Why's he got all those green cubes and lines all over him? Yeah, he has psoriasis. We talked about this.
I mean, it happens. Even
And
the planet-sized chaos gods.
Our final question from Sabrina, just barely, is, what does your Primus assigned reformat look like?
I don't know, but the colors clash and it looks ugly because that's
Yeah.
what all the rest of them look like. They're just pick two, and it's so funny because like okay, some of them are like attempts to homage a G1 character, like obviously because they sold Cliffjumper as Beachcomber over here, like his new colors are trying to be that, right?
Sure.
But like, it's not really like he's the closest one. Everyone else is just kind of like you're scratching your head, like they're probably referencing something, but I don't know what. Thankfully, one will come later that will two recolors that come later are extremely clear about what they're referencing, so we will not be left in the dark for long. But yeah, just choose like three. Just close your eyes, throw darts at like a color wheel, and slap that shit on you, and that's your Primus reformatting colors.
Great.
And that's it for questions.
And that's it for us.
That's right.
We've been Prime Cuts. You can find us on Twitter at Prime Cuts Pod. You can also find us on the Noise Space Network along with a bunch of other really great shows at noisespace.xyz. You can find me personally, Audrey, at Tumblr, Twitter, and Blue Sky, not co-host anymore because that shit's ending. At Optimum on Prime, which is my funny robot internet joke. You can also listen to the other podcast I do at Cod Pod of Greed, which is about Yu-Gi-Oh! And is fun. I'm also really excited. Next week, the day after we record, I'm going to an early fan event for Transformers 1. So I'll get to see that 2 days early.
God damn it, I'm jealous.
I mean, there's ones in the DFW area too.
I'm lazy.
All right. Well, you don't get to say you're jealous if you're just not going to put the effort in.
We're influencers. I should get a damn email. They should give it.
Yeah, really.
Give it to me. Where's my early tickets?
Where's
Hasbro?
my fan experience comped copy?
I'm Nero. You can find me on Twitter at DragonSuggler, on Tumblr at Cyclones with a 5 in it. I used to have a co-host, but it's we're on the deck of the Titanic. We're playing all the hits as it's very slowly sinking.
I will go down with this ship.
I have a Blue Sky. I never use it, and every time I see what's going on with Blue Sky discourse, I'm like, I can't go over there. It's so bad.
I know. I mean, I literally have not used my Blue Sky since I got it like a year ago.
Every time I see a post for Blue Sky, I'm like, what is happening over there? I can't go over there.
I'm Coke Pepsi and I'm Twitter for life.
I'll keep drinking that garbage. Yeah, various other projects. Jane and I are kind of starting to spin back up our stuff, so expect in the next few weeks Radio for Hydeland streams will come back, and also that thing I tease is going to be launching pretty soon.
You're so brave and so fucking stupid.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. But until next time, I am going to assure Optimus Prime that size is a social construct, transform and roll out.
I'm going to power link, and then 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 I'm going to transform and roll out.
Peach.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Transformers, robots in disguise.
Transformers.